Please pronounce your last name.
Casillas.
Casillas. And you are going, at the end of this video, we're going to put on your information of what you did because you do marketing for people.
Yes, I'm the sales energizer.
Sales energizer. Yes. Seriously. Okay, we're going to talk about that at the end. We'll put your information. We were just talking about what's some of the stuff you're going through today? Because today you are cancer-free. What is it, 5 years? They call it remission. Is that what it is?
Oh, I don't know. I just went with cancer-free. When they finally came to me, which was about 6 years ago, at the end of 2016, when they finally reversed the ileostomy bag.
Yeah.
And all that, and I was told that I didn't have any signs of cancer. In my head, I'm cancer-free. I'm staying cancer-free. We're cancer-free now. That's it.
Beautiful.
That I bought it. I sold it. I bought it. We're good. That's the way I am.
Beautiful, beautiful, awesome.
So you said, yeah. We went through a lot of things between the radiation and the chemo. Radiation has the worst side effects and the longest lasting of intense side effects. Radiation, even though they can focus on the spot where the tumor is, it still has residual effect on the rest of the body.
Really?
So everything is shrinking still, years later.
Because of the radiation?
Because of the radiation. And everything is shrinking to the point where I have different issues that I have to deal with because of everything between here and here being smaller than the average bear. Wow. And so there's a lot of issues with that. Had I known that, I might have asked if we could have just done the chemo first to see if we could shrink the tumor rather than bring the radiation to the table. Wow. Because that is the most prolonged side effects that I'm dealing with. My skin, learned the wonderful things about Aquaphor. I've never heard of Aquaphor before, and now it's like I use it for everything.
What is it?
AQUAPHOR. It's just Vaseline with some medicine in it. That's all, medicated Vaseline. But it's amazing stuff because when I went through the radiation, my skin all in the back would be all red and peeling, like a horrible sunburn.
Yeah.
And those effects carried on. And it shrunk everything, my colon, everything. And so the radiation is something I would have put off to see if we could have just shrunk that tumor with just the chemo.
So when they gave you the radiation, when they talked to you about it, they didn't talk about, hey, listen, a couple of years from now or years now, here's what you could see. They didn't go over that?
No, really? They gave me... They gave me this little thing about this. Maybe it was about that thick, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was the first step in a dilator.
Okay.
To dilate things. Yeah, no, it didn't work.
Wow.
I still have issues. I use a dilator set to try to make things go back to normal, but it's very painful and and I don't have a whole lot of patience in that area. So, Wow. So radiation would have been something that I would have looked into some more, asked more questions about it, and stuff like that. At the time, like I said, though, my whole focus was just do what the doctors say because that's what's got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And so I did everything I was a very good patient. I did everything the doctors told me to, exactly the way they told me to do it.
Yeah.
Because I figured they know better, But I would have asked if I could have just tried that chemo first to shrink it before I went into doing the radiation as well. Yeah, that's why we had to have the full bladder.
Yeah.
Because they knew it would shrink the bladder. That they knew. Yeah.
Wow. And there's really nothing else you can do about any other part of your body. Your bladder, you can keep filling up, but what else?
Yeah, right. There's no other way to expand any other parts, the colon and things like that.
Yeah.
And then when I had the ileostomy bag, my colon got tinier and tinier and tinier. So, again,
Wow, don't think about these things.
I bowel movements reminiscent of a child and not an adult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, all things you don't think about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't think about. A lot of things that go along with that. The chemo, the second last round I did after the surgery was for 6 months. And it was a different chemo than the first one I was on. They told me the first chemo I was on was called chemo light because I didn't really have any side effects from the chemo.
Okay.
The second round of chemo I went through was way different. So I would go in on, it was usually on a Friday, And I'd go in at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they give you a bunch of steroids to protect your organs and things like that. And it's all done through the, nowadays they don't do the ports anymore for different reasons. But I was lucky to still have a port, yeah. Well, not everybody takes care of them right, and they can get infected, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. So now they do it directly in the arm these days.
Okay.
But I like the port, and
my sister had the port.
Oh, that's great.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, maybe, certain people they'll let do it. I don't know.
And different hospitals out in Austin, so maybe,
Yeah. But anyway, so I would go in, and then they would give me the chemo. It was an 8 or 9 hour ordeal, and by the time I got out, I'd be like, so I wouldn't drive. Of course, I always had somebody drive me. And by the time I went through my last chemo, that was the last one I could take. I wouldn't have been able to take another chemo. And I was numb from head to toe. I had neuropathy everywhere. Couldn't feel a thing. I still, to this day, have it. Now it's down to just my feet.
Really?
Yeah. So, but it was my whole body from head to toe. And I used to have to walk with a cane because I couldn't balance myself because I couldn't feel anything. I still, when he walks the dogs, he goes, come on. I'm like, because walking on uneven surfaces hurts my back because I'm trying to balance myself. Yeah, so that's one of the challenges I still deal with from the chemo.
And you're telling the story again with this energy, with this smile, not complaining. You're just like, hey, is it because you beat it? You beat it, like, hey, I beat it, so I'll take this.
Yeah, you gotta, what's the alternative?
That's right.
6 feet under, right? In fact, when I was first dealing with the neuropathy, my primary care physician, I said, when is this gonna go away? He's like, it may never go away. Oh, and the hot flashes, as I'm having one right now when we're talking, I get them like every 5 minutes. Now I get them maybe every 20 minutes or a half hour.
Okay.
That was something I said to my dog, when is it going to go away? It may never go away. You'll just get used to it. He said it'll either go away or you'll get used to it. So a little from column A, a little from column B, here I am.
Oh my God. Again, I love your attitude. We were talking off camera. Did you, when you were taking the chemo, you had those side effects. Did you lose your hair during the chemo?
I was fortunate not to. The chemo that I had did not make you lose your hair entirely. Okay, I have some hair loss issues, but not on my head, not where anybody could see. My hair got a little thinner, but then once it was over, it came back. Whew.
Really?
But you know where I don't have any hair under my arms?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And other areas where the radiation was and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Yeah, less shaving to do.
There you go. So there's a plus. There's at least one plus.
Well, though, shaving my legs was something I always did every single day. And I still do. And I still did it even when I was going through all of that. That was one of the things you want to try to keep some type of normalcy in your life, the rituals that you did. You got up every day, you got dressed, you got washed, you got dressed, you shaved your legs, you put on your makeup, you did your hair. And I still did that.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't take a regular shower when I had that chemo bag on me, I still bathed and I still shaved. Yeah. I still put on my makeup, I still did my hair. I still wore 6-inch heels or 8-inch heels. What am I wearing today? Yeah, about 8 inches, right?
Wow, yeah, I guess so. All right.
And the nurses would laugh at me and stuff because I'd be wearing these heels and I'd have a cane.
See, that's awesome. That is awesome.
But so I had to do what I had to do. What worked for me.
And share with me, because I had said again off the camera, I was telling you about my niece, and I said, once she's over all this stuff, she's going through cancer. She's going to get married. She's already married. She's at the big party afterwards. And you said that's a great. Explain that. What was your?
So mindset is everything, and a great way to keep your mind off of the negatives and the issues and the suffering that you're dealing with is to have a goal that you're looking towards.
Yeah.
So for her, it's a big party. It was for me too. My thing was once I get over this, I'm going to have a big, huge I beat cancer party. Of course, I didn't. Well, I did for my 60th birthday in January. I had a big celebration. That was kind of the same thing.
All right, awesome.
But yeah, it was something to focus on outside of focusing on what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You could divert that focus and have something you're looking forward to. That's how you overcome a lot of things, a lot of adversity. And then, there's that saying, there's no failure, adversity, or heartache. No, excuse me, I'm saying it backwards. Every failure, adversity, and heartache comes with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit.
Oh, wow. I like that.
That's what I'm Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Ah, I got the book right there.
Yeah, you got to keep reading it.
Yes, I know. Okay, I got like this much. That's awesome.
And that is, there's never an ill wind that doesn't blow some good. And my mom has been saying that since I'm a little girl. So that's always been my focus anytime I deal with adversity, heartache, or suffering.
So let's talk about that. Your whole attitude, is that come from your mom, your dad, parents, this whole attitude that you have, this incredible positive attitude, which is freaking awesome.
Thank you.
But where does that come from?
I think the Lord blessed me with a lot of positiveness as part of my nature. And then I would look around and I would see what I liked and what I didn't like about people, and I'd adopt that, what I liked, which was mostly positive attitude. I saw that people who were successful in life didn't let things get them down, and they pursued and they had a goal and they focused on that goal and they got things done. And I'm all about getting things done,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
And part of that is a lot of that is your attitude, and faith.
Yeah.
Faith is huge.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
if you know the Lord's love, and I knew it as a child. I knew the Lord's love as a child, which was,
so awesome.
neat.
Yeah.
And it carried me through a lot of my adversities in life. Yes, yeah. Cancer's just one story, right? We got lots of them. We all do.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about, first of all, thank you so much. Before we talk about what you do, and I'm going to push you big time, which I usually don't do in these videos, but I love marketing and your marketing. We're from New York, so I got to, any of the last words you want to say to anyone else who out there who may have seen this video today and they just got diagnosed? What would your advice? You've given a bunch of advice already. You want to just close it out with?
Yeah, the two things. Preemptiveness is so important. Get those tests, get those mammograms. If just one of you goes and does that, I feel like this was a very successful video. And then keep a good attitude. If you're having trouble and if you're struggling with your attitude and your mental issues, get help. There are people out there, there are groups out there, there are Facebook pages. Thanks to COVID, you don't always have to get up and go anywhere. So many things are done through Zoom and these types of things. So it's more accommodating now than ever before to get the support that you need and to keep the best that you can to keep a positive attitude.
Beautiful. Susan, let's talk about what you do, because you help businesses. Let's talk about this here. Tell us what you do.
So when I originally started my company as the sales energizer, I was focusing on more marketing, and then I started switching more to my real asset, which is sales. And I started to hire, train, and manage salespeople for different companies.
Really?
And now I'm solely focused on working with a company called Christian Consultants of Texas, where we help people in foreclosure or about to lose their house.
Yeah.
And we do our best to come up with creative ways of helping people stay in their home.
Oh, wow.
And then those that are living above their means and are not able to stay in their home, we help them with relocation and everything like that as well, because it's very important that people can continue to keep a roof over their heads at all time. So I love hiring, training, and managing salespeople. I love teaching people the skill set to be able to go out and make a 6-digit income despite of your background, education, or lack thereof. You don't have to have any of those things to be good in sales. Sales is a completely spiritual activity, and people that ignore that part of the sales process are missing out on the best part of sales.
Okay, I'm dead serious when I say this. I may be calling you to help me, because I'm in sales, and we'll talk about this off thing, but besides doing video, I do something else that's a great complement to what I do, but you have to sell, you have to cold call, and every day I found every excuse in the book, including, go out inside and water the plants, anything not to cold call. So and that's just one of my
Mother
problems.
Teresa coined it best. We're all salespeople, and some of us make a living at it.
I like that. Susan, thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Rob.
Oh, wait. How do we get in touch with you? Phone number, web?
Yes. You could call me at 713-320-8019. I'm here to give you positive reinforcement if you're going through something. I love to share. God's love with you. And then, of course, if you need me for business, I'm here for that too.
Any website you want to give me?
No,
We're good.
because I just plant myself all over the place.
I love it. Thank you so much.